Good kill, good kill. Hey, good kill.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're here in the A-18C Hornet. I'm just going ahead and setting up the aircraft. Today we're going to be fighting a A-18F Super Hornet. Basically a fight of old versus new. In terms of dogfighting, I believe the Legacy Hornet has a very minor edge, if I remember correctly. Little things like a little bit higher roll rate, things like that. Pretty much even though in a dogfight. But when it comes to BVR and that kind of stuff, the Legacy Hornet lacks behind the Super Hornet. Super Hornet has much better avionics and all that kind of stuff. You can see a radar screen here. I'm looking for him. I'm trying to pick him up on radar. You see me using a 20-degree scan. For those of you unfamiliar with a radar, right now the red thing you see is the hostile contact that's being fed to me by AWACS to my aircraft. I'm not using a 140-degree scan where the radar sweeps fully to the left and fully to the right, because there's nothing there. AWACS is not showing me anything. It's telling me that the bandit is directly off my nose, so I'm going to use a 20-degree scan just to look exactly in that spot, just quickly back and forth, right? Gives me a much better refresh rate on my radar, much better situational awareness, and I'll probably see him sooner. As you can see, I'm just trying to keep up with him. It says his altitude is 30,000, so we're going to bump up our altitude, and we're going to make sure that we can see him. If I wasn't using the 20-degree scan, I was using the full 140 degrees back and forth. It might take me several extra miles to pick him up. Here he is on radar now. There we go, got him locked at 35 miles, and we're continuing to climb. And I'm going to continue to climb up to like maybe, I don't know, 20,000 feet, and then we'll engage him. He definitely has me by now as well. It wouldn't surprise me if he'd already shot at me by now. We're 30 miles now, 29 miles. And we're going to send it Fox 3, and we'll defend. If you want to pick up your own Hornet, you can use the code on the screen now, GSF18, that'll get you 10% off. Still 50% for new users. Combine that to get 60% total. We're in the crank now, and we're maintaining lock. You can see on my radar screen here, I've pushed them to the gimbal limit off to the edge of my screen. I'm maintaining that lock as I defend, and what I'm doing is as I'm dragging to the right, I'm pulling his missile right with me. We've lost the lock, so we will now defend. Anytime you can make a missile turn, missiles have finite fuel, right? It's not like that movie Behind Enemy Lines or whatever where they just have infinite fuel. They only have a certain amount of fuel, generally between 7 to 30 seconds. There's the RWR notification. So once they're out of fuel, if you can drag them and into dense air, make them turn, whatever, you're bleeding their energy, makes it very easy to defeat them. Let's go ahead and recommit vertically now. And you can see he's directly on my 6 according to data link and the situational awareness page at the bottom there. We'll bring him back up front, and again you can see him on radar. And we'll go ahead and start looking for him. He's got me. There we go. He's got me, I got him. 23 miles. We'll continue to push. Get a little bit closer to him, and then we'll fire this Fox 3 and we'll defend, always being careful to not trespass the MAR. As long as we don't do that, we don't need to use a single countermeasure. We should be good. Pushing in closer now, 17 miles, 16 miles, Fox 3 will defend. So again, as long as we don't trespass the MAR, there's an incoming missile, by the way, so we'll increase our defense, make it a little bit more aggressive. As long as you don't trespass the MAR, you can theoretically always turn around and run. And if you can run, you can defeat the missile. You'll be fine. That's why I don't use countermeasures in those situations. I use countermeasures once you know you're inside the MAR. Because once you're in the MAR, the only way to survive, the MAR is the minimum abort range, by the way. The only way to survive is to decoy the missile. So that's when you need your countermeasures. Chaff and flare. And so we're going to recommit onto him here because I think I defeated his missile pretty easily. Once again, offensive here at 17 miles. And we're pretty low altitude. At this altitude, the MAR minimum abort range is going to be about 10 miles. At 40,000 feet, it's closer to 30 miles. That's obviously due to air density. The thinner the air, the further the missile can fly. 12 miles as we climb. We're probably going to have to shoot inside the clouds here. 10 miles, Fox 3, and we'll defend. If you are looking to get into DCS, the Hornet really is one of the better aircraft to start with. Just because it's got so many systems that are pretty intuitive, there's lots to learn, and also it offers naval aviation, right? It allows you to do some naval operations, landing on carriers. I'll show you that kind of stuff in a different video. But it's a great place to start if you're a new player. So here we are on the deck, just ripping over people's houses. And we're gonna go ahead and recommit. I wonder, like, there's not a lot of high buildings here, but I wonder if there's if there was some elevated buildings I could use. If I might use that, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. If I was anyone in those buildings, I would immediately start heading home. Go ahead and point the nose back at him. We're going to go ahead and drop our tanks, by the way. So we'll go ahead and set... Oh, I think I just jettisoned an AMRAAM. That's my bad. I needed that. That was very important. So I guess I'm down to 2 AMRAAMs, and somebody down there is the proud new owner of a new AMRAAM. So big congratulations to him. Alright, let's go ahead and recommit here. We're at 11 miles. And we're going to push this guy. I would love to get a Super Hornet kill. Fox 3. Defend. Should I use these buildings as cover? It'd be very difficult for an AMRAAM to hit me through these buildings. Look at this, defending behind them. I don't know how useful that'll be. If he's shooting from altitude, it won't matter because it'll drop down. But if he fired it from, on the deck, it might actually, those buildings might actually be helpful. Also, the Super Hornet has more hard points, which means he's carrying more AMRAAMs. Another big advantage for him. I only have 1 left. And then after this, I guess we got to go to the merge. I have 9Xs, so does he. And it's an even fight. It's Hornet versus Hornet. It's going to come down to the best pilot. Assuming that I can get to the merge. There he is on radar once again. And I have him at 8 miles, Fox 3. And we're going to have to defend aggressively here. Alright, I'm sure he shot at me too, so we're going to get as low as possible. Yeah, there's his incoming missile. I'm going to get as low as I can. I was definitely inside of the MAR. Can't get much lower than this. I'm hoping to drive that missile into the ground if possible. and I don't see it, so we're good. The RWR went clean. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe it hit a tree, maybe it hit a building. I have no idea, but we're good. I'm going to go ahead and recommit here. We are all out of AMRAMs. So we need to find him, and we need to start driving to the merge, if possible. I'm going to switch over to 9X. There we go. Situational awareness page tells me he's over here somewhere. To my left side. But I'm unable to see him. I'm unable to get a lock right now. I'm going to defend a little bit here. I think I'm going to have to defend any AMRAMs he shoots at me, so I'm going to decrease my speed. Looks like he's trying to pick me up. Missile. Try to notch it. Try to notch it. Come on, come on, come on. That's all I can do. All I can do is decoy this missile. Once I decoy it, which I don't know if I can do, but once I do, we're going to the merge.